I pressed it.
Okay. G'day guys. Welcome here to Cranbourne Lounge in Clayton. My name is Matt Clements and we're here today on January 29, 2013 to memorialize my dear sister Rachel, Lauren, Diane, Rach and such. So guys, let's go. Rachel Memorial Speech by me, Matthew Clements. Rachel, Lauren, Diane, Rach. I add the Diane name to honor her, not as an I, it would be unfortunately, more on that later. Was born on the 29th of January 1990 in North Carolina, I believe. At some point, I'm going to assume so, in 1993 or 1994, likely at age 4 in 1994, she and her parents moved to our neighborhood in Connecticut, which is not far from New York City instead of others, as we just got there as well from another neighborhood in Connecticut. We all eventually became good friends, with my mom looking after her by taking her to kindergarten / early schooling along with me as well. Rachel was a wonderful child to be with from her age of 4 until 7. Her mom, Jane, was a wonderful woman who did a great job looking after me and others as well, especially children of our friends. Her father, Ronald, aka Ron, or Ronald, was a good man, and he was a late joker with us all. Yeah. However, by 1997, due to my father's work, my family had to move to Texas, and we did, of course, move away. While we were gone, her good mother, Jan, got breast cancer and sadly died from it in 1990, as I think so. My mom, being a good friend to Jan, attended her funeral, and remember when Rach, who was understandably very upset, got hugged from Palmer, who promised to look after her now her mom was gone. Okay. At some point, Rach and her parents, or just now her father, moved back to the Carolinas. I don't know when, I'm going to guess 1998. In 2000, my mom and I happened to meet Ron at an airport and had a good conversation with him, which sadly became the last time I would talk to him. Because unfortunately, by 2000 or 2001, Ron was sadly found dead from a heart attack at his office. I, Mom, as well as others, were devastated by this news. Yeah, we didn't go to his funeral, unfortunately, I'm afraid, but thanks to what Rachel tells me, which is coming up soon, my son will be named after him, Ronald A.K. Ronnie. Yeah. So, now at age 11, Rachel was now an adopted child, and she was taken to her relatives at her home in St. Louis, Missouri. Also, my family had moved by now to Georgia from 2001 to 2012-ish. At least that's when I left. Yeah. In hindsight, though, due to my imagination and what is possible in reality, I wish my parents found a way to have adopted Rach in 2001, 2002 instead. She could have been to Texas for a bit, and definitely in Georgia. We could have done trips in St. Louis, North Carolina. I think my family went there before in 2002, and Costa Rica for her sake. But my parents, who unfortunately were falling apart, finally separated after I left for university in 2014 and divorced the next year. Rach would have stayed with my mom. In 2007 or to 2008, Mom and I would do this trip to Australia to talk with family and such. So Rach could have been to Australia instead of never been. Yeah. and I really wish he also could have come with me to Canada in various times, like 2006, 2008, and 2009. By 2008 and 2008 and 9, Rachel would have finished with school as well, and either been going to university and or moving to her new house, likely back to St. Louis, Missouri, as she did in reality, I believe. Yeah, having her parents' money by then. My mum was moving back to Australia in 2001, and I was too, but went in 2002, so it made sense we all had to part ways. Yet, I wish we lived together for a lot longer, you know. Basically 2008-9 instead of just 2003, that being the last time basically saw her and just was a visit one, which would have been about 5 or 6 years difference. Overall, could have seen her from now 9 to 11 years living in person together, not just 3-ish years, you know, apart in by houses, you know, as it was. And we would have been more of a family. Eventually, by the inset, my mum and I got back in contact with her. When we did a phone call for the first time, Rachel was shocked by how much my voice had changed, and that I did for her voice. Good stuff. We visited her at her relative's home in St. Louis, and we were shocked by how much grown up as we were, because she was 12 and I was 17. During that trip, while at a meal at a restaurant, I told her I would love to take her on a trip to Australia, which unfortunately didn't happen. She was very excited to hear about that, but unfortunately my parents were very upset with me considering how much it would have cost. Yeah. Next, she came and visited us, as well as our friends in Atlanta. We had a good time, especially by mocking ourselves about our flaws and such. Like she mocked me saying, and such, yeah. In 2013, now that she was 13 and I was 18, my parents decided to do a trip to Costa Rica, taking us with them. So we went and had a good time, where she had a famous photo of her taken holding a sloth, which you can see there. Yeah. Sadly, in person, this will be the last time we saw her alive. Yeah. In 2014, I graduated from school and was off to university. When I was gone, as I said before, my father, who in 2002 met another woman he fell in love with, separated from my mum that year, and then the next year, 2005, my mum divorced him, and he remarried this woman in 2016. I did my best to mostly focus on my university work, but unfortunately, when I was close to finishing in 2008, I unfortunately broke down from depression and couldn't do it until the next year. In reality, I didn't finish until about 2011. Yeah. Once I was done, I moved to Australia in 2012 and moved to various locations without mum in Melbourne, Victoria. Yeah. Anyway, meanwhile, around the time from about 2004 to 2009, probably about 2010, I'm going to guess, because she probably finished school by that time, Rachel moved away from her relatives and bought her own house for her parents' money, as I said, with pets, friends, maybe boyfriends, etc. The only way I talked to her was via Facebook, and it wasn't, and I didn't talk to her as frequently as I did with others, especially family and friends, And unfortunately, this would be the last time I would talk to her, because in 2019, I basically was asking her what her father's basically name was, and I basically told her what I was going to do with his name, which made her very glad. But then, unfortunately, as I was doing with them around this time, and hoping to do again soon, I told her about my deep dark secret, hoping she would be there for me and supporting me. Unfortunately, she did not. She basically reacted with fear and basically blocked me instead, But fortunately, it's my original account, which now has been hacked and basically deleted as 2010 and 2022, you know, so it's not quite as important. Anyway, so I lost touch with her until her boyfriend, out of the blue, not long afterwards, who I happen to be friends with, told me that she died from ODing, you know. I don't know exactly how she OD'd from drugs and such, but I think she got injected by something that was unfortunately with too much, was basically fatal, yeah. At first, though, I didn't believe it, but I later found out it had happened by talking to and listening to other family basically saying so. I and my mom, who I was living with at the time, you know, we were stunned, shocked by this viral news. It was so hard to believe that she was a nice, beautiful lady who was now gone at the age, ironically, 29. She wasn't even 30 years old, which was coming in a few months. I was never told what day and month it was she passed away, but on her still standing Facebook page, the last post she did was on the 29th of October. So my best guess is the 30th, the next day of October, one day short of Halloween. Sadly, as I did for her parents, I was able to go to her funeral, and unfortunately, nor was I able to see her grave yet, but hopefully I will. Yeah, I guess we will never know what would have been if she had been my adopted sister said, as I always dreamed, but nothing will change the fact I think it might have been better. Yeah. So, here are my last words to Rach. Rachel Lauren Diane Wright, you're a lot more to me than a good friend. You are my dear little sister. You are like family to me as basically sibling, at least mid, you know. You are probably one of the people that I know that had an R name that's very popular with my family and such, yeah. You are the closest person I have ever had, family, friend, and so on, to ever lost by passing away to the next life. Yeah. You always have been and always will be seen as a beautiful young woman. This is my message to you, as your big kangaroo, as you used to call me by nickname, to my dear little sis. I called you back then as a child, but now you're Rach because now you're all grown. Yeah. Now, by the way, back in the day when you were still alive, which I told you and others did, but I couldn't do so, but yet maybe I could to others later, I have the name Diana as one of your middle names. Why is that? Princess Diana is why, as she was an amazing woman who did many amazing things. As you as the same, that's why I gave you her name as your second middle name, because she got both wonderful, valuable ladies, you know, which isn't as significant as your first anyway, in my opinion. You know, Lauren, of course, your first one, it means a lot more, you know. Yeah. But unfortunately, though, sadly, though, her life came to an end as well, just like yours would. So both of you are great, beautiful ladies that lost their lives way too soon. Hence why it should remain in your name, although it wasn't intended to be like this at all. So, may you and your dear parents rest in peace in heaven forever. I love you all, and I dearly miss you. I will always be praying for you, and hope you are basically shining on me. Cheers, my dear lost family members, especially to you, Rach. Now, everybody, please join me now in this room of silence for Rach and her dear parents. May they be resting in heaven, and may God in such bless them. Okay, Nathan, that's all.
I pressed the red button.
Yeah, go